Hello everyone, I'm your host Heather Dawson and welcome to California Life, where we show you the best of California every week on our show. And let's start off with a trip to Simi Valley, where one company is doing its part to make sure everyone gets a second chance.
Coast to Coast Computer Products is about much more than just ink and toner. It's also a company about making the most of opportunity.
Mary Connie, please.
Today, when many are still out of work and others are unhappily employed for the sake of keeping their jobs, employees at Coast to Coast Computer Products Incorporated are thriving on their own terms.
When it comes to goal setting, everybody's different. If I give you your goals, you're not going to be too enthusiastic about reaching them. But if I ask you for your goals, and then I hold you accountable to those goals, we both want the same thing.
For Sales Representative Lamont Washington, that means
Suit up and show up. Be teachable. Be willing to learn. Have humility to be taught, and want to grow. You have to want to grow in an industry like this.
Rick founded Coast to Coast in 1985 before going green was in vogue. It was his desire to live broader that challenged him to step out of his comfort zone. Rick left his family's construction business in Detroit and set out for Southern California, where he successfully learned the computer products industry from his previous employer, and then risked it all to make his own mark on the marketplace.
I started the company out of a rented house and basically a single line telephone and a phone book, and I started cold calling out of that phone book. And I worked by myself, I think, for about 60 or 90 days, and then I actually had somebody who, approached me and said, I want to come to work for you. And I said, well, I don't even have an office.
Rick gave himself a chance to live a more satisfying life, and through Coast to Coast, he's allowing his employees a chance to do the same for themselves.
I also come from a background where at one point I was homeless. He's a blessing to many. And I think it's because of his relationship with God that starts it off, that he was given a second chance in life to become who he was. So I believe that his heart is touched to allow others like myself to have an opportunity to get back up and move forward.
Due to his diligence, Rick's one-man business has grown into 4 locations throughout Southern California, along with hundreds of employees, including some who even work from home in different cities in the U.S. Coast to Coast sells more than 10,000 computer items to companies nationwide, but focuses on green alternatives for ink and toner at more affordable prices. While it was Rick's boundless vision to make eco-friendly computer products more available to a larger number of companies, it's also the dedication of his team members that help execute that vision, even when potential customers aren't always as enthusiastic.
I've always been a part of a team. A good team starts off with a good coach and a good leader.
Through its many charitable contributions to organizations like Habitat for Humanity, Operation Gratitude, the Simi Valley Police Foundation, and the March of Dimes, Coast to Coast philosophy of second chances is as limitless as the principle of big vision it was founded upon.
It's my job to continue to grow people, and the company grows automatically, because we get a lot of people who come to us from 12-step programs, even people who have spent time in prison and things like that normally would probably never even get an interview at a lot of companies. We give them an opportunity to come here. I've got people that have come to work taking the bus, living in a sober living home, that now own their own homes and are making 6 figures a year. That motivates me. I love those kind of stories, and that's what keeps me coming here every day.
For more information, log on to coasttocoast.com. Bringing you the best in California from Simi Valley, I'm Tiffany Carter for California Life.
Well, we featured author Shirley Hickman on our show in the past, and her new novel is getting praise from the industry, as well as my 11-year-old daughter, who says, "Mommy, I just can't put it down." Let's see why we need to fall in love with an orange tree or a book.
I taught English for many, many years, and one of the things I was always looking for, and many of my fellow teachers, where is the book that these young Hispanic kids can read that they can identify with? And I wanted to write a book about some of these young people that I've had the privilege of knowing as students. The book is fiction, but everything in it has happened to somebody I know. The title actually came from a former student of mine. Her parents brought her from Mexico to the United States, and they told her, "You have a choice," her mother told her. "Fall in love with an orange tree or a book." And basically what she meant by that is work in the fields for your whole life or get an education. This young woman did follow her mother's advice. She did go through college, and right now she is the Migrant Education Director of the Porterville Public Schools. So many of the books that I've read, and I've read a lot of books in which Hispanics are major characters, many of them deal with a lot of dysfunctional families. Most of the families I know are highly functional. They have a mother and a father, and they love their kids. And the family in this book is like that. And the main character, Elena, wants desperately to have an education. But what happens is she's working in the fields with her parents, and uniformed men come in and they take her parents away. It's very difficult for her because now she has to support her younger brother and sister and still try to go to school. And she's illegal also, so that means she constantly has to look over her shoulder. Is she going to be deported too? And like so many young people, they live in the shadows. And yet, for all intents and purposes, as she says in the book, I know that I'm not a citizen, but I'm an American. I've lived here my whole life. The idea of the DREAM Act, which is something so exciting to young people. And what we have in California, and this plays an important part in the book, it means that they will not be deported. They can go on to school and they can be eligible for scholarships. So this to Elena is just, oh, how wonderful could this be? Because at the end of the book, she talks to her brother Miguel, and she's so excited because they're listening to the speech about this, and she says, but you know, we'll be able to do this. We'll be able to come out of the shadows. You know, we'll be able to, maybe, you know, maybe I'll be able to go to college and I'll be able to become a teacher. And he said, but what happens if you don't? What happens if it doesn't happen? And you still aren't going to be a citizen. Maybe you go to college, but then you can't get a job because you're not a citizen. So then what happens? And then the last line in the book is, so she turns away from Miguel so he can't see her cry. And she says, then we'll live in the shadows like we've always done. My dream is that this book would be used in classrooms so that they could say, ah, I can see the choices Elena made. I want to make that choice too. I want to make that choice to get an education.
I'm Audra Stafford here in beautiful Ko'olina, Hawaii with Minnie Mouse, and coming up on California Live, we're going to take you inside Disney's newly expanded Aulani Resort and Spa.
Dr. Hotze is the leading expert on hypothyroidism, one of the biggest problems this country has ever faced. But fortunately, there are some easy tips to help with this disease. Here's Jeff Power.
We're bringing the best of California to the Lone Star State. We're right here at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center, where Dr. Stephen Hotze will help determine whether or not you have hypothyroidism and how you might be able to cure it.
Well, Jeff, hypothyroidism is a condition in which the cells of the human body don't receive enough thyroid hormone. The thyroid hormones are made by the thyroid gland in the neck. They're secreted into the blood. You can have adequate thyroid hormone in your blood, but if you don't get enough into your cells, then your cells run at a suboptimal metabolic rate because thyroid hormones enable your cells to produce and use energy.
So what are the symptoms to hypothyroidism, you ask? Well, lack of energy and fatigue, plus hair loss, to name a few.
Difficulty with weight, brain fog, insomnia, joint and muscle aches and pains, stomach disorders, gastroesophageal reflux, maybe constipation, recurrent and chronic infections. We see women have irregular menstrual cycles, so people tell me, I just feel sick and tired. and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. That's how hypothyroid patients feel.
Dr. Hotze will be the first to tell you natural medicines are the way to go, as indicated by his 8-point treatment program.
We treat for airborne and food allergies when indicated. We treat for yeast problems, and that's from people that overuse antibiotics. They oftentimes get yeast problems, particularly women, and that can lead to a host of gastrointestinal problems. We treat with natural thyroid hormone replacement, sex hormone replacement. We treat for adrenal fatigue. We use vitamins and minerals and nutrients, and also we use a nutritionally balanced eating program to help our guests get on a lifelong path to health and wellness.
Dr. Hotze says antidepressants, anti-anxiety, and sleep medications are not the way to go if you have hypothyroidism, which is what most doctors prescribe when blood tests don't indicate it.
Nobody is sick and tired because they have low levels of pharmaceutical drugs. The aging process is very simple. It's the inevitable decline of your natural occurring hormones. This occurs in men as well as women. It just turns out women have hypothyroidism, that's a low thyroid condition, 6 times as frequently as men do.
In Dr. Stephen Hotze's book, Hypothyroidism, Health and Happiness, The Riddle of Illness Revealed, he mentions the fact that hypothyroidism has been misdiagnosed for years by traditional physicians. Inside this book, he also talks about ways that you can correct that problem.
The problem with hypothyroidism is much more prevalent in the United States than you would find it in other industrialized countries. We know this in the United States, 67% of the population is overweight, and half of those people are obese.
Dr. Hotze says although blood tests are not guaranteed to determine whether or not you even have hypothyroidism, the Hotze Health and Wellness Center does test whether or not your thyroid gland is producing enough antibodies to fight it.
Even in the face of blood tests that fall within this wide range of normal, we're going to give them a therapeutic trial of natural desiccated thyroid. You want your thyroid hormone levels and your other hormone levels to be at the optimal level where they were when you were in your prime.
Dr. Stephen Hotze adding that blood test alone will not diagnose whether or not you have hypothyroidism. Bringing you the best from California here at the Health and Wellness Center in Houston. I'm Jeff Power. Back to California Life.
Angel's family members are among 50,000 people worldwide diagnosed with a rare and incurable genetic disease.
hATTR amyloidosis. The H stands for hereditary, means it runs in families. The A is amyloidosis, means that a protein has gone bad, and that protein is called TTR, transthyretin. That protein is a common protein that we have all over our body, and when it goes bad, it becomes amyloidogenic.
The disease affects the nervous system, the heart, and digestive system, and it can shorten life expectancy.
When my family was diagnosed, unfortunately, there were no resources, very little resources for us to get information. There was nothing on the internet. There were no good people to reach out to. So my family and I partnered with Alnylam to create the book Living a Rare Life, which is available on hATTrbridge.com. To help others in their journey.
By sharing details online about her family's rare struggle, Angel hopes to help others along the way and raise awareness of this little-known and difficult disease.
I'm Audra Stafford here just paddling around the lagoon at Disney's beautiful Aulani Resort in Hawaii. And coming up on California Life, I'm going to show you all of the fun activities you can do here. Aloha! I'm here at Disney's newly expanded Aulani Resort and Spa in beautiful Ko'olina, Hawaii. Located on 21 oceanfront acres just 17 miles from Honolulu International Airport, Aulani has quickly become one of Hawaii's most popular family vacation destinations.
Right when you walk into the Maka'ala lobby, you're greeted by one of our wonderful cast members, and then you hear the wonderful music. Maka'ala, it means eyes wide open. So we're really opening everyone's eyes to the beauty of Hawaii and everything that Aulani has to offer.
Like the 18,000 square foot Laniwai Spa and Fitness Center, a championship golf course, and a newly expanded pool and deck area. I'm here now at the beautiful Kamaka Landing. Right behind me here is the grotto. This is just one of the many new features as part of the expansion. Todd, what else can we find here?
Well, first of all, aloha. Thanks for joining us.
Aloha.
But yeah, this is our new Kamaka Landing, so it includes a new infinity edge pool, We have a keiki cove up on that side, so for our little toddlers, a splash play area. And now our Wailana pool up behind us is an adults only pool. So right through this whole new section, it's something for every member of the family.
Families can also enjoy the spacious new villas.
The villas offer you a full kitchen, a living room, a separate bedroom. You can have 1, 2, or 3 bedroom villas.
I think the kitchen in there is bigger than my kitchen at home. It's incredible.
And you also have the washer and dryer. And you know, I've got 2 kids, and we know traveling with the kids, just having that additional piece right in your room just makes life a lot easier as you travel.
Speaking of travel, Aulani also offers a number of excursion opportunities so you can get out and explore popular places around Oahu. Lots of people come here to Hawaii to surf the big waves at the North Shore, but if you're a beginner like me, well then, stand-up paddleboarding may be more your speed.
Here you go, let me show you how to do it.
There are plenty of fun activities to explore at the resort as well, like stand-up paddleboarding. And thanks to the great instructors and the calm waters, you can be up and safely paddling around within a matter of minutes. You can also rent kayaks, go for a boat ride, or check out Rainbow Reef, the resort's man-made snorkeling lagoon.
We also have a lazy river, which is really fun. And, you know, as you're going down the lazy river, you can also kind of spot little menehune. They're little mythical men who are said to create mischief around the resort. So we have 300 of them hidden throughout the resort.
Something else to look for as you wander around Aulani, all of the incredible artwork, like this massive mural in the lobby. The resort has one of the world's largest collections of contemporary Hawaiian art. And then, of course, Disney is known for its entertainment, and you have some wonderful entertainment options. You have a version of the luau.
Yeah, so our version of the luau, it's called Starlit Hui. It's dancing, it's singing, there's even arts and crafts right beforehand, and then at the end, we have our Disney friends, Mickey and Minnie, who come out and they have a little dance party.
All of that dancing is sure to have you working up an appetite. Now, if you're looking for some food or some cow while you're here at Aulani, there are tons of tasty options. Like the signature Ama Ama restaurant, the newly added quick service Ulu Cafe, Aloha, and the Makahiki, which features a very popular character breakfast.
Families can go and enjoy breakfast and then also get some interaction with a couple of our characters
before setting off on their next magical Hawaiian adventure. From beautiful Ko'olina, Hawaii, a hui ho. Until we meet again.
How much sleep do you get on an average night? Lifestyle expert Lance Smith says the amount of sleep we get can tell a lot about our stress levels.
Stressed people typically sleep less than 5 hours. Non-stressed people get that 7 to 9 that we're looking for.
So how do we cross over into a non-stress level sleep zone? Lance says it's all about putting down your devices, relaxing, and investing in your well-being.
A lot of people haven't really thought about investing in themselves. You know, this year it's all about the new year, new you, right? Here in this new year, they're exercising, they're eating right, but are they sleeping right? So Mattress Firm has realized that people just need a new mattress.
A new mattress can work wonders on becoming a better version of yourself. The key is investing in your rest.
For 72 months, 0% APR, no interest, and a minimum of $625 open on a new credit card. Less than $9 a month, you can have that new mattress and get that sleep.
In addition to a new mattress, consider reading, meditating, and even taking a short walk during the day to help reduce your stress level. For more information, go to mattressfirm.com/sale.
That'll do it for this episode of California Life. Remember, if you missed any part of our show, please go to our website, californialifehd.com. I'm your host, Heather Dawson. We'll see you next time.
Watch us on our YouTube channel. Stay connected to our social media, like our blogs on Facebook. Follow our tweets on Twitter. And check out our posts on Instagram and Pinterest, where we bring you the best of California.